wanna tell you something. Don't be scared.
It's midnight, baby, just us two, no bright lights, nothing to prove. Your handshake, mine do too, but it feels right being close to you.
Come closer, don't look away. We both know why you came to stay. Your heart beats loud, I hear it too. This moment's a little taboo.
Don't rush it, move slow, feel the heat start to grow. If you want me, let it show. Tell me soft, tell me low. Taboo, taboo.
Midnight with you.
Hello and welcome everyone to Charm Chats and Happily Ever After Sprints, where all month I've been hosting Charm Chats with Romantasy authors. And I'm so glad for everyone being here today. Today, I'm Shannon, writing under the pen name of SC Huston, and you're here on my YouTube channel where I run weekly writing sprints. I'm also the founder and conference chair of the AuthorTube Writing Conference. And besides what I do here on YouTube, I am an epic romantasy author who loves writing about broken characters, brutal choices, and love that refuses to let go in worlds of dangerous magic, sharp edges, and the occasional dragon. So today I'm joined by Tillery, and I have her here. It's so glad to, DL has been on my channel with so many other things, so I'm glad to have her as part of this lineup. And she began her career for Carpe Nocturne. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Magazine before turning her focus fully to fiction. In 2020, her work appeared in the HorrorTube anthology Local Haunts, and she has continued to contribute short horror stories and dark poetry to the series. Her debut dark fantasy novel, Cagliostro, Tale of the Libertin, 2024, introduced readers to a new veiled realm and launched her darker fantasies into the world. Born and raised in Maryland, where she still resides with her daughter, two brothers, and mother, DL continues to create under the mantle of Mistress of Horror, plus a few other pen names soon to be released. She leaves her readers with one chilling reminder: stay scared. We'll have to end the show that way too. Even though this is not as scary, this is romance.
Right.
Welcome to the show, DL. I'll let you add anything else that you might want to add to that.
Hey everybody. No, I'm known as the Mistress of Horror. The two pens that was mentioned in my bio there is going to be romance predominantly and erotica. So we'll see a lot of romance and love coming from me soon out in the world. This is technically a Winter Wolf that we'll be talking about today, is a taste of that because it is a dark romantasy. And I can't wait. I'm really excited to get my romance stuff out there because I'm a romantic at heart, even though I am known as the Mistress of Horror. But my two pens, you'll get to know about them. You'll hear stuff from Laura D. Black and Lavinia Hart. So I'll be introducing those on my YouTube channel, and I'll actually be having a YouTube channel specifically for those two pens, since we'll be sliding into deeper romance.
And I've only really read just the one book before this one, Cagliostro, and there was romance all throughout, even though it wasn't the focus. So that was supposed to be more of the horror, fantasy, dark fantasy. But to me, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. You didn't scare me with that one. But
I tend to have romance in my stuff anyway, unless it's direct, just me trying to focus just on the horror. And Cagliostro's series is like dark fantasy. I always say with romance, just so that people don't get overly overwhelmed with the romance aspect in that part of the series. And this Winter Wolf is a novella companion to it. So in the Veiled World series that is called, you'll have dark fantasy, dark romantasy, and there's horror in that world's element. So,
and I just saw you got it up on Amazon.
Yeah.
And I was going to say what your book's about, but I grabbed that from your book funnel link. Is it the same?
Yes.
I wonder if it's I put it into just like
the paperback actually is available today. The ebook launches tomorrow. I try to put it, paperback and ebook for people. I have some audiobooks as available on certain ones of my books, but I wanted to make the paperback available because some people like ink under their fingers,
With the paperback, did you set the price at $7.60?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, usually I don't see that. Like I see like something 99 and not such a different price. Yeah. So I was like, if it's a different price, it means that Amazon put your stuff on sale, but you still get the same amount of money. But that's not the case.
Yeah, because they have this, they got that new rule where if it's not $9.99 for a paperback, it's like, oh, they have to because of printing costs and stuff. If you don't, then there's nothing that comes through for you or whatever. So
Yeah.
like you got odd. Now you'll see sometimes. I mean, at least on my end, you'll see odd numbers. I think I have Obsessed set at like 660 for the print. So
Yeah.
that way it's like, because they make you like you can go but so low now.
Yeah.
You just can't. So it's like that. I'm like, oh well.
I would put this at $9.99 if I were you.
Yeah, I know people like put it. I mean, it's like 100. I think the print is like 102 pages. This is a novella, so I tried, and I think my dog poetry book is a $9.99 because I think that's about 120 pages or something. It's similar.
I would definitely put it at the $9.99 if I were you.
Yeah. It'll probably be like that for a sale for about a week or two before, and then I usually raise it. So I try to be like, it's hot.
Your odd numbers, you can do like 10, 20.
Yeah, 10, 20. Yeah, let's just throw some odd, some change for you.
Right. First one in was Adeshle. I'm here. Hello.
Hi.
I'll have Adeshle here in a few hours. And Morgan, hello. Welcome.
Hi.
So Morgan's actually a dark fantasy writer.
Yes, I know she is.
Alrighty, well, let me read the blurb I have for the Winter Wolf because that way everyone has an idea what it's about. So you got Duncan Winterwolf, which just is Duncan, older. He's younger in this story, but that's a older Duncan. Duncan Winterwolf has rare and powerful abilities, struggles with his family's harsh expectations. In search of freedom, he leaves his home for a nearby town after a dangerous encounter and a disagreement with his father about his future as a watcher. Upon meeting, I never asked, is it Vandra?
Vandrea.
Vandrea.
Mm-hmm.
Would not have got that from the spelling.
Either way, because I figure people won't say the names the way they want anyway.
Upon meeting Vandrea, a captivating sorceress, he discovers a newfound passion in his life. However, fate takes hold, forcing him to choose between his love for her and the obligations of his lineage. We'll get to that because he chooses her, but the obligations come for him anyways.
Yes, they do.
As Duncan strives to balance affection and responsibility, his journey becomes one of self-discovery through pain. Despite the looming shadow of becoming a watcher, will he create his own destiny and be able to resist his true calling, or will he give in? He doesn't give in. He's made to give in, basically. So I mean, you already talked about a little bit of the different genres that you're writing. So what about this genre of romantasy specifically is drawing you to it, to write in it, since you are coming from this dark fantasy and horror background?
Yes. I mean, I always loved romance. It's actually, even though fantasy was always my go-to as a teen, because my favorite writer overall is R.A. Salvatore, who writes predominantly fantasy. And I came from like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. So I was always big fantasy, elves and dragons and fairies and stuff like that. I always loved that type of stuff. And I always had my darker side, like going into like, vampires and werewolves and things like that. So that's where all the dark fantasy aspect came from. The romantic part is that I'm just a romantic at heart. That's all I watch. Now, if people know me,
yep,
that's all I watch. If I'm not watching horror, but my predominant everyday watch is romance. That's all I look at. So romantic stories draw me in. I always love romance. I read a lot of romance writers. I always did. So me writing it wasn't no surprise. I have so many stories already outlined. Some already have written. And so I'm very excited to jump into that aspect of my writing journey. Yeah. I love it. It's just, and I write CEO romance too, because I'm really into that. Because you'll notice if you read Cagliostro is the CEO, even though it's just like paranormal, fancy, dark stuff. But he's a CEO. Got the suits going, you got the big business and all stuff. So I automatically like that. So that's kind of integrated into my dark fantasy, which Cagliostro series runs in with the romance. It's separated because it's really there, and people are very much going to notice that the first introduction of that book really is romance inclined. The story between the male lead and the female lead is very important to the story arc, but it's just like that's not the only thing that's going on.
You're right. So one of the most powerful moments of the story to me, and this is when you were thinking about, what's in the blurb, if Duncan is going to, be able to create his own destiny, resist his true calling, or give in. And he decides he's going to go with his own destiny that he wants, but it's Vandra who chooses to take him back to his destiny instead of holding on to him. Yeah. And I don't know if do you want me to spoil it or you want me not spoil that? The reason why.
No, it's fine. I'll answer it.
So he essentially, and he's told ahead of time, well, if you decide if you run away from your destiny to become a watcher, because he's supposed to go off to training to become a watcher, and if he resists his destiny, he's going to be made sick. Something's going to happen to him, and that's exactly what happens. He's pretty much dying, and so she takes him to go fulfill his destiny. But why was it important for you that she be the one to send him away?
It had to be her in that moment because he was not listening. He didn't want to. He was very much fighting against it, very much against the whole idea because that's not what he thought would be his future. So him being in a way, it seemed like becoming a obsession. His love for her, like it was something he hadn't felt before. So he was very much distracted by it, no matter what else was happening. Mm-hmm. So it had to be her to kind of let him go or force him to go in this instance. It's not like they would never, ever see each other again, but it still was like he wasn't going to make the decision on his own. So it had to be her. Like, you got to, As
a reader, though, you don't know that in the moment if that means they're never going to see each other again.
Yeah, you don't know that.
Yes, that was interesting. I was like rooting for that. I was glad they were able to see each other again.
Yeah.
So Duncan does try to outrun his calling, and love becomes the place he hides. And no, for anyone who picks up the story, he doesn't run away for love. Like, he doesn't have his love yet.
Nope.
But part of running away is when he meets her.
Yeah.
And so in your mind, is Vandrea a temptation from his destiny? Like, is that what, once he did run into her, was that temptation to stay away from his destiny, or the very reason he ultimately survives it?
I would say that he could have very much not fulfilled his destiny in his mind. As far as he was concerned, he could have escaped it, even if it was death that would take him. And, her meeting her was going to happen. It was kind of like a destiny-based thing. Mm-hmm. As you read if you get into the world of Cagliostro and Duncan and just the veiled world itself, if you get into it, there's a lot of layers going on, and this is just another facet. So even though he fought against it, even though he was fighting it, and then Vandrea, he was going to meet Vandrea. Like, that had to happen because it's a destiny type of thing. Neither one of them knew this, obviously.
Yeah.
And Vandrea has her own issues. Like, we don't even go into that, her whole thing. But there is another, this world has a lot of stories. And if people follow me, they'll come across them. Each character probably will have some kind of side story or book down the line. Vandrea does. She one that's going to be coming out in that one book I told you about, the Beyond the Veil, the horror collection. Vandrea has a story in that collection. It's called The Guardian. Okay. She is the guardian of the veil.
Guardian of the veil. Yeah.
Yeah. So that story that's in that collection that's going to be coming out is called The Guardian, but that's one of Vandrea's stories. So you can see some of the stuff that she does that of course Duncan isn't privy to, because he's her lover, but he's not always with her, so he doesn't know what she's doing and what she's up to. She's obviously made of magic, so she's up to lots of things that she doesn't otherwise care about. So their stories, their characters themselves all have this stuff going on. So those two were destined because of the story that happens in this world. So
yeah, okay. So the one thing, and it kind of took me back when I was reading it, but I was like, well, they're immortal, so of course this would make sense. But when he does when he's forced to follow his destiny and goes into training as a watcher, it's not like he gets it's not like basic training is 6 weeks at boot camp. It's centuries that he's in training. And I'm like, the whole time he is separated from her. Yes. And he gets to send just one message in between two different trials. He gets to send one message back to her.
Yeah.
So since they're both immortal, this isn't about time running out so much as endurance. What were you exploring emotionally through that long waiting?
If during the story, without giving some of the details away, he still had a part where he kind of connected with Vandrea in a way that was very discerning to him. So it's kind of like his mind was still quite thinking of her. Mm-hmm. And then when you connect the dots of the story later on, when they do see each other again, and you're like, wait, what's going on? did he see her then? The time lapse. So it's very much the experience of that first meeting that they had and the time they had together that kind of just is in his head while he's going through all those trials and tribulations and the craziness that's happening. And I think she's type of an anchor for him because that was the first time he was like in love like that and didn't know what it was. So it was something I think could keep him going in a way in the back of his head that, you know, he would see her again because of course, in their world, time isn't an issue. So he knew that he would see her again once he was free to move.
Right. And, you know, this is more of the writer side than the reader side, but, you know, you and I, we've talked about our different writing styles, how like I really can't write short and you can't write long. And I remember
really,
when I first started reading the story, I was like, oh, well, this is where she could add stuff to make it longer. And what I was thinking was like more of his emotions, more of his thoughts, except I thought it was genius. And I don't know if you did this on purpose, but you didn't get a lot of what he was feeling about each situation until he met Vandrea. And then you start getting his emotions. So it was like his world was more like black and white until he met her. And then we got all this internal beats hitting. And I was like, okay, wow, this was really well done.
Yeah. It kind of happens organically when I'm like thinking about my characters, when I'm letting them come to life on the page. I'm a plotter, so I do have like outlines, but I do skeletal outlines for the most part when I do the first draft. So the characters, I do character bios, I do character like design before I 100 write the story, so I kind of have an idea of who the characters are. This book was very easy to write because I had the Watcher version of Duncan already because he was in Cagliostro. Because I did not write this at all until after. I had thought about, because Cagliostro series is 3 books, but that whole story is done in my head, even though I haven't written everything down as far as like the whole story is outlined all the way through. But I know what the ending is. I know what happens with that, this, and this. But there were some things that developed throughout Cagliostro's series that affected, obviously, the things that occurred in this novella that's about Duncan's life for Cagliostro. Because this story pretty much just solidifies who Duncan is and so solidifies who he was before he became a Watcher. If you see Duncan in Cagliostro's book, you probably wouldn't think he ever had an issue with becoming a Watcher because he's just very much who he is already. So this is, I think it's a good insight into his personality that you get in Cagliostro's book compared to like some of his growth that you get to see. And this isn't it for Duncan's solo stories.
Yeah, because there still has to be more with him and Vandra. So
yes,
or Vandrea. Sorry, I called her Vandra the whole time.
You can call her Vandra. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's pretty close. You know how kind of like people call you, like say your name differently. I find that the same concept.
So. But yeah, when he first finds out that he's supposed to be a Watcher, it's definitely, it's not seen as something that is positive, especially for a firstborn son. And that's why he runs away from that, because he feels like his family's not taking him seriously. And then you find out, I don't want to spoil it because that was a good part of when he found out what type of Watcher he was going to be. But of course, if you read Cagliostro. But anyways,
this is true.
We had Moons come in. Hello, good evening. Hi. And hi, and good to start. Going to start from the beginning on 2 times speed. Awesome.
Yep. Ooh.
All right. So when Duncan finally does return after centuries of training, is he still the same man Vandrea fell in love with?
I would say he's definitely changed. He went through a lot.
Yeah.
He went through a lot.
Was that it's called something when you live the same day over and over again? You like almost every TV show that goes on for a while.
The Groundhog Day thing, that movie.
Day, yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's like Groundhog Day as part of his training, except for it's just whenever he fails, he dies. So I can imagine dying over and over and over again, and he does it for at least a good century or 2.
Yeah. So he goes through a lot. Like his training is hard, and it's very mentally draining too. Mm-hmm. And you can't get out until you're done the training, and you don't know when that's going to be. So the Watcher training is no joke. Yeah, everybody doesn't. Some people don't get out ever. So he was just meant to.
I think that definitely changed his personality a
Oh
bit.
yeah,
He was much more serious. He was much more the Duncan that we meet in Cagliostro than he was
yeah,
at the beginning of the story. So,
yep, yep.
all right. Well, do you have any favorite romantasy authors or stories that really shaped how you think about blending fantasy and romance?
I would think that I have my one of my favorites as of recently is Geneva Lee. I do like some of her stuff because she has those ones called like the Filthy Rich Fae and the Vampire series. I do
Never
like
heard of
those
her.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Check her out. I like her stuff because of course I like Fae and I like vampires, and she has two series that's
Well,
in that one.
when you say the filthy rich fae leads me right back to CEO. I was like, fantasy could do all the things that romance is getting
Contemporary does, yep.
contemporary. That was like it starts with a C. Can't remember it. Contemporary romance, like CEO is really big. So is Mafia. Like that's really
Yes,
do all
and
of
I
that.
love those. I love those. Yeah. So you can mix those together. And I think one of my favorite just romance writers. I think she usually does like paranormal. Is Christina Faheen, and she does like paranormal stuff. And paranormal was always like one of my favorites to read. And then of course romantasy, like fantasy and romance, because obviously I love romance, but then you add in dragons and fairies and elves and stuff. Like you got me. I'm hooked. It's over, you know.
Or
So
you get to pick your own creatures.
of
Like
course, as you know, I love to do. Um,
yes.
so just like in this, Duncan's family, his people, what he is, I call it a miskrell, but it's really just if you've been into fantasy a long time, there were these beings called mystics,
Mhm.
and they're similar. And this is something in mythology of fantasy and stuff like that and lore. Um, Mystics are similar to vampires in a way, except for they're more magically inclined than a vampire is. They don't usually have the effects and weaknesses that vampires say they have, as far as the sun and the stake and all those things and such. Mystics usually don't. So I kind of based the creation of Miss Scrolls off of Mystics because Duncan, if you read Cagliostro, get into his magic uses, like he does like necromancer based things. He can summon spirits and they can do stuff for him and things. He does magic, does different shots of magic, he does all kinds of things. So that is his family lineage, hence they have silver eyes and usually white hair. They can or they can't, but most of the time that's a symbol that they could be winter wolf. So
Okay. I do remember it got thrown in there that him being a necromancer. And it was just it was just one line in there, and I was like, oh.
yeah, yeah, because he does have the effects of those things. So people like I always play with those words because mortals in the Cagliostro world always have words and names for things. It doesn't really matter if it's actually that thing, but they'll call it that. So sometimes in my story, like when we go to mortal world, you'll hear them say werewolves or something like that. But in my world, the werewolves are called
Like,
lycrans,
yeah.
but they are pretty much they're just werewolves, just a different thing that humans would call something something. They just name it and be like, that's what it is. And the other thing over here be like, that's not what I'm called. I don't
Right. Right.
who told you to name me, So
Yeah.
I kind of play with that.
Rewatcher training makes me think of ReZero, the anime.
Yep. ReZero, I know about ReZero.
And JC stopped in saying, hey.
Hi.
Hi, JC. Hey, Adeshle. All right. The last question I have for you is what is your favorite fantasy or romance trope and why?
Ooh. I really love close proximity, forced close proximity. Yep. And I do love insta love. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like you will hook me with insta love and forced proximity always. And then fantasy. Ooh, what's a good trope for fantasy? I mean, anything with dragons. I mean, I'm going. You're going to hook me with that if that's a trope. You know what I mean? But I suppose I don't know anyone trapped in a castle. That trope that usually get me. But there's a trope that's usually in romance too, like the parents are dead. They always make fun of that one. Like your parents, you don't have any parents.
Oh yes, dead parents, and which then leads into found family.
Yeah, the found family. That's always those are always fun. Yep. VC Andrew stuff start happening then, layers and layers. But yeah, that'd be me.
So I know I don't have a question here, but just real quick, can you say the names and explain quickly like some of your monsters that like, is it Daggeroo? I don't know if I'm saying it
the
right.
dagger. You said it right.
I did. Okay.
You did. Yeah, that one. My friend Aphrodite, who is also an author, you know her, Aphrodite. She does not like the daggeroo. She is
They're
very
scary.
scared of it.
They are scary.
But there is a creature that is called the daggeroo, and then they have sub creatures that base from the daggeroo. The daggeroo is usually a 6 foot long, slimy style worm creature that has lots and lots of teeth in its mouth, and it tends to eat human souls when they come on the other side of the veil, because most humans can't come and travel through the other side of the veil unless they are usually dead and passing through so they can pass on. But there are certain circumstances that they could, but the daggers tend to clean up, lost souls or whatever you could say, and they eat them. Now, if a daggeroo gets onto the mortal world, which they do at times, unfortunately for humans, that yeah. So they possess though. So they don't eat 100. So they kind of possess. So you do something 6 foot long. Why does it do that? But that's what it is. So it possesses humans when it's in the mortal world, and it will turn the human in a way you will change when you are possessed by a daggeroo and become a daggeroo slave, as they say. And then you could be a survivor of that if you live through it. And then if you live through it, you are changed as a mortal. You still see mortals, everyone else, but you are not inside really. And I bring that up because that makes another creature that is related to the daggeroo is the Ladrega, which I made a story, which is in the back of Cagliostro's book. Ladregas are if a Lycran mates with a daggeroo slave, or a reformed daggeroo slave, somebody who is freed from the daggeroo's possession, but now has changes in their body. So in this case of the story, Ladrega was a woman who had been, possessed by the daggeroo, had lived through it, but her mate was a Lycran, and she had a child, and the child was a Ladrega. Yeah. So then that story, Ladrega has this whole own thing. So there's lots of different creatures in the world that I may have played with from stuff that you could be used to, like the werewolves would be Lycrans in my story. Yeah. I mean werewolf. I don't mean a wolf. I literally mean a actual.
I know you could go.
Yeah, I could go for days on that.
Yep.
You gotta be standing on your back, hind legs. You have to be. The werewolves are 10 feet tall. We're not talking about a wolfen. We're not talking about a shapeshifter. This is werewolves, and they can talk while they're in that form, and they're beastly. So werewolves play a big part in the Cagliostro world because of. Actually, that's what if you listen to the song, I wrote a song for Winter Wolf, and it's on my channel if you want to listen to it. And it kind of makes a joke in it because somewhere in his stories that you'll read, there's a joke that goes around that people in legend think that he's a Lycran because he works for the Lycran king. So sometimes when he's leading werewolves, people think that he is. That's why it goes like, he's not. He doesn't have wolf in his DNA because it's a kind of a running joke in the story.
To me, the daggeroo, what it reminds me of when I was reading it, every time I get attacked in Winter Wolf, it reminded me of the sandworms from Dune, just a bit smaller.
Yes. Yep.
And then now you're talking about, and I know you've talked about it before, and I just didn't remember, but you saying it again about how they can basically enslave humans, mortals. Yep. That reminds me of like Stargate.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like a Cagliostro's world, the veiled world, is very cosmic. It does have cosmic horror elements in it. So you'll get things that's like, sci-fi-ish in the story as well because of the cosmic. You'll have cosmic beings in it. It's very layered. And I have so many stories that's linked to the veiled world because I have one that's going to be coming out that's called the Nana series. That the first book is called When the Night Cries, and the first story in that one is a Lycran guy who becomes, he doesn't know about it, but so he's a Lycran. So it has plenty of layers and plenty of creatures. I even have pixies, which you get introduced in in Winter Wolf's story, there is a pixie part, but that's actually the pixie has a story in my horror collection that's going to be coming out, which will be interesting.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to go on to the segment of the show, which is fun and games. And this author's choice, DL chose Would You Rather. So in this one, I'm going to be giving some Would You Rather choices. So it's kind of a list of whimsical fantasy romance themed stuff. I try to do it kind of based around DL's book as much as I could. And for everyone in the chat, we'd love for you to play along and make your choices with us and have some fun. So,
Yay.
All right, so the first one. Would you rather fall in love with a man destined to leave you for centuries to fulfill a prophecy, or a man who stays with you forever but never becomes who he was meant to be? So he doesn't die in this case.
I think I'll take the centuries.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I would.
As long as you're an immortal too, right?
Yeah, if you're not, then it's going to be a problem. You're supposed to be reborn. I mean, if it's a fancy world, maybe you'll be reborn and meet again. Yeah,
Actually,
I watch too many Chinese dramas and K-dramas because they do that all the time.
I have a short story coming out in a piece in the anthology next month, and in it, my character is reborn. She is a reborn version of herself, and then she dies, and then she's reborn again in the story. Right? So I love that. I love the reborn stuff.
Right.
Moon said, finally caught up just in time.
Yay.
After the games. Adesha says, I take the lady for the first one. So the lady who's destined to leave him for centuries to fill a prophecy. Yeah. As long as I was immortal, I guess I'd probably do the first one too.
Yeah.
Okay, would you rather be the immortal who waits centuries for your love to return, or the immortal who must train for centuries knowing you can only send one message home?
Ooh, that's tough.
I wouldn't want to be the one waiting.
Yeah, the waiting is hard. Right? I think I'd be the one. Oh, I think I'd probably take the trial. I'd be the one doing that. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Formal. I'd want my partner to chase their dreams. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Would you rather date a brooding watcher who sees every possible future except your happy ending, or a reckless rule breaker who insists destiny is optional?
Ooh, that's hard. Can I get a wide choose? Let me stop. I'll take the first one. I think I'll take the first one. Yeah.
I think I'd go with the second one.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of people would. I gotta pick the hard ones. You know what I
mean? This is for the last one. Moons have taken the immortal who was trained for centuries.
Yeah.
Rule breaker for Deshley. All right, next one. Would you rather be trained by ancient, morally ambiguous watchers who speak only in riddles, or be thrown into the veiled world with no training and a vague "you'll figure it out" prophecy?
I'm going to go with the second one because Allison made it. Let me see.
Yeah, I'll go with the second one too.
I mean, it was hard, but she got Cagliostro. I'm not going to play it. Better get a CEO with blue ice wings. I'll take that.
Hello and welcome. Says you'll figure it out, world. All right. Would you rather receive one single love letter after 300 years of silence, or get daily messages that are heavily censored by supernatural authorities?
I think I'll take the one.
The one. I wouldn't know which one to do with this one.
Yeah, it's hard because it's like, but I like the very romantic to get the one, but you've been waiting so long. So I
think this is for the last one. We've got a little bit of a delay between us and the chat. So this one would be first one, like the riddles. I think that was, I don't know where, I think I lost myself in this. The one that speaks in riddles. So Moons would rather take the morally ambiguous watchers who speak only in riddles. So, and then additionally, I'll take the second. I mean, that's how it's been. Figure it out, LOL.
Right.
I don't know if I'm going to say your name right. Is it Janine? Is that how you probably say that? Or Jenny? Janine? Jean? I know it's not Jean. I'm a bit tone deaf, so I can't remember how things are supposed to sound sometimes. But this person would take censored messages you can work between the lines with.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess it would be like
you have to figure it out a little bit.
Right. Are you like just like fresh in your relationship when this happens? Because then you're like, I want to get daily stuff. Versus if you've been with them for a few centuries, like, it's okay. Love, write me in 300 years.
It's no big deal to me because I'm.
I'll take the daily. If she's a rule breaker, we'll find a way to work around it. Jeannie. Okay. Jeannie. Okay. Thank you.
Cool.
And I agree. All right. Next one. Would you rather run from your destiny and risk magical illness, or accept your fate and risk losing the love of your life? I thought that's what he was risking when he first left. So this is really from
I know. I mean, he wouldn't know that though, I guess. So I mean, to still work. Ooh, that's hard, man. Ooh.
I mean, we know which one he had. Duncan actually chose the first one. He was risking the magical illness.
He was. I don't know if I'd be using like he was, and it was bad. So like death was the outcome. And he was hanging in like, you know what I mean? When they were riding a horse, and he was like, oh man, like what dude, you wanna die? So I don't know. I think for the romantic aspect, I probably would say the first one, because you trying to stay, and he didn't want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
So in that instance, in the romantic aspect, I would say first one, because some people die for love.
Yeah. And then she says, I have no answer for this one. I have to think about too long. The first one, I can't let my partner die.
No, I know.
All right. Would you rather have a soulmate who chooses your destiny over you, or a soulmate who chooses you and accidentally unravels the universe?
Ooh. Chooses you and accidentally unravels the universe. Hey, because I'm sorry, universe.
Yep.
I'm sorry, universe. You know what I mean?
Magical illness. If he's the love of my life, I'd rather have the shorter life with the love. Oh, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Would you rather be immortal and separated by duty, or mortal and guaranteed one perfect lifetime together?
One perfect lifetime together.
Yeah, I agree. Would you rather fall for someone who is prophesied to, I think I'm saying that right, to change the world, or someone whose greatest rebellion is refusing prophecy entirely?
The first one.
Moon said mortal for that last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one we chose too. Would you rather fall for someone's prophesied to change the world, or someone whose great rebellion is refusing? I mean, it could be quite spicy to be with someone whose greatest rebellion is refusing prophecy.
True, it can be.
And
I actually, on subject, I have a spicy version of.
You do.
There's.
I thought that this was not spicy for anyone who's everything's fade to black.
Yeah, it is fade to black. But those scenes have been written. I just didn't put them in the book.
Put them in there. Yeah, because I remember you saying you were writing erotica, right, or something like that.
Yeah, I do have like a pen for erotica. Lavinia Hart is going to be my pen for my erotica. I don't want to confuse people. So Laura D. Black will be doing all the other romance stuff, and then Lavinia doing the other stuff.
So I was like, okay, she writes erotica, so she could write this scene, but she didn't write this scene. So
I do have and my romance does have like sex on the page, and I have some romances, fade to black. It really depends, but most of the time I do usually put sex scenes in, but I just didn't for this because I was like,
It works. I mean, it's still a really good love story.
Let's see how people go with it.
You don't have to have it to make it.
Yeah, you don't. But that's usually how I write it. I don't ever write the scenes in it while I'm writing it, and then I add them so that way the story makes sense. Even when I do my erotica, I don't write the sex scenes at the time I'm writing the whole story. I put the sex scenes in after, so that way it's, even though you're there for that, but the sex scenes are, just kind of like the icing on the cake.
Yeah. Change the world is Tamara's answer. And Moon's like, the tie is killing me. I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go a little bit slower here so that answers could come through at the same time.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is, okay. Would you rather kiss your love goodbye, knowing you'll you'll reunite in centuries, or fight fate together and possibly never see each other again.
I'm having those, please. Excuse me.
That's all right.
The second one.
Second one?
Yep.
If you need to take a moment to, if you want.
Yeah, let me take a moment.
Okay.
Because it must be the air changing on me.
If anyone's interested in reading the book, I think I did. I put her website in the chat and I linked it. And then this is, okay, here it is, Amazon's Winter Wolf link. The paperback is out already. And the ebook comes out tomorrow, I believe. So here is the Winter Wolf Amazon link. 27th. Yep, that's tomorrow. So I don't know if anyone would be around for later. Oh, well, I know Adeshle, you're going to be around for later because Adeshle is going to be coming back onto the channel tonight. I totally didn't mean to book 2 authors on the same day. And when I gave the dates and times to DL, I meant to put the 25th and put the 26th. But when she chose 4 p.m. my time for it, I thought, well, I could do it because Adeshle is not coming on to 7 p.m. my time, which is 8 p.m. Eastern. So we'll have Adeshle here in a little bit. I really like how like the 2 book covers are very complementary. Your book cover and Adeshle's, because his is blue and white as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, this like looks really nice to go together.
This matches quite well.
Yeah.
Hey, Aphrodite. Hello.
Hello. Tamara says, fight Destiny, centuries are too long. I was thinking the same thing. I'd probably fight Destiny as well.
Yeah.
And Aphrodite stopped in. OMG. Hey, everyone. Hello and welcome. All right, so we got a couple more.
Okay.
Would you rather have watchers judging every romantic decision you make, or no cosmic supervision whatsoever and absolutely no safety net?
Oh, 2.
2.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I thought that was cool too, so especially. I don't think I have his. Let me see. I'll give it a second for people to answer that one, and I can add Adeshle's overlay. Okay, so if you guys look, the book is at the top. Can I point the right way? Whatever. It's above DL. DL's book is above DL.
Yep.
And here is Adeshle's.
Yeah, perfect. I love that cover too, by the way.
Yeah, I do. I like it too.
I love it. I always like silhouette style covers. Very nice.
Yeah. Oh, got a couple comments.
She's like 2. That's the Sagittarius.
Would you rather? You had me at. Would you rather have watchers, right? To the Sagittarius.
2.
Hi, Ashley. Hey, to Aphrodite from JC. All right. Would you rather become a powerful watcher in those parts of your old self, or remain unchanged forever and wonder who you might have become? See, Duncan would choose the second one for sure.
I know. I was going to say 2 because it's an extension of me. So 2.
JC. I don't know.
What would you do?
And thanks, y'all. I like your cover a lot.
Thank you.
And Doug says, would choose me.
Of course, she says that. She love her some Duncan, I would say.
There we go. There's some Duncan.
Yeah. And those silver eyes. Make sure you check out his song on my channel because everyone seems to really like that song. Got the full, I think it's like 3 minutes and something.
Okay. And
Kind of tells the story.
Okay. And this is the one that you said you wrote, right? You wrote that?
Yeah, I wrote that one. And the one I put up for Obsessed. That's for this new thing I'm doing for like my ads. So just like writing the songs and then I get Suno to help me organize it.
Nice. I meant to look for it because you told me about it a few days ago. And I think I went to your channel, but I didn't know which one I was looking for.
Yeah, you'll see the if you see it, is the thumbnail is a guy. You'll see the guy and you'll see silver eyes and white hair. And okay. I have the picture right next to it. It might be the cover of the book next to that, but it says Winter Wolf song. So it's called Silver Eyes is the song. Yes, okay. He does. He has a song. It's on my channel. Yeah.
I wrote a song about my jeez.
Yeah, she did. She totally did. I'm like, you just got issues all day.
Wait, Aphrodite, does it mean you don't like Vandrea?
She is Vendria.
Okay, I was gonna say it's either she don't like her or she is her.
Yes, I based her look and stuff. I based her off of Aphrodite. So when I was writing it, and I was like, so when she read the book, and then she read the entrance when he first meets Vendria, and she comes and she's like, oh my goodness. Like that character introduction was crazy. I'm like, yeah, see, you like her. Yeah, of course you like her because she's like, you based off of you. So you really loved it.
I will go check it out. Yeah, I've made songs for my books too. It's Suna Help. That's so cool.
Yeah, I really do. It's fun. It's real fun. And to write the lyrics and then I've been writing lyrics a long time. I used to write lyrics all the time and sing my own songs and stuff. I didn't get to sing this one, but I'm going to just my mic is broken, so I just had to, I made a specific voice, and then that's going to be the voice throughout to do the songs for my characters.
Cool.
So I really enjoyed this fun, and people were really obsessed with the obsessed song for that book because it's called "Down Beautifully Unhinged" because that's the vampire character. She's really messed up. Delilah's really messed up.
All right, we'll do one more, and then we'll go into the happily ever after sprint.
Yay!
Would you rather break the rules of the veiled world for love, or follow every rule and hope love survives anyway?
One.
Yeah, I'd probably go for the first one too.
Yeah.
Break
We're rebels.
Yeah. Unless I was not immortal, then I don't know. Maybe I'd follow the rules, but
yeah, usually when you're normal, you'd be like, I guess I gotta follow the rules. When you're immortal, you're like, I do what I want.
Right. Delilah, she is unhinged.
She is. See, Aphrodite's a rebel too.
Break the rules.
See, we all rebels. Okay.
Oh, that's what that one meant. It meant break the rules. Okay, sorry. Yeah. It did. Y'all, I am a bit under the weather here. So some things are just not making it through my brain.
She said no.
Like one. Okay, maybe she meant exclamation point. That's what I thought.
Well, let me say.
All righty. So we're going to go into the next portion, which is the happy ever after sprint. And we're just going to work on our own projects. So whether you're reading, writing, housework, coursework, day job, or just take care of you can use the 30 minutes in whichever way you want. Yeah. And as I pull up the sprint timer, because I forgot to do that part because my brain's not thinking well today, DL, do you want to tell us what you're going to be working on?
Yes. I have quite many things that's going to be coming out this year. And I'm really getting into my romance era, which of course is perfect timing being here at Charm Chats.
Right.
So look for stuff on my channel coming from me because I'm going to be introducing another channel for my romance and erotica stuff. And again, my romance pen name is going to be Allure D Black. And I actually am going to be in an erotic anthology with 2 tales in there. You'll see Allure D Black and Living Your Heart. Though going forward after that, Allure D Black will only be writing just predominantly romance. But what Allure D Black will be putting out for that anthology is definitely a paranormal romance style. And that's coming out. It's called Lore Divine. It's going to be that anthology for anybody who can take smacks on the page. But that one's, I loved writing those stories. I do have a bunch of tales coming out under both Allure D Black and Living Your Heart. And I still have some of my dark fantasy and horror stuff coming out later this year, which will still follow stories in the veiled world. So if you're interested in this world, keep looking out on my channel as I talk about new releases coming, because there is a sequel to Room Within, which is called Trapped Within, which is the first character that you ever read in the veiled world. Delilah, the vampire, is a series that she is a part of that is an arc in the veiled world series. Because even Duncan comes across Delilah in the Cagliostro world. So all these characters know each other and is intertwined. So look out for that stuff coming from me over the next months. And this year is going to be filled with some darkness and some romance. So
I think I got Delilah's story, but you told me it was horror, so I never read it. I got the physical copy of it.
Yeah, Obsessed. And it is in Room Within. The Obsessed one, I would say that I call it dark romance horror, only because Delilah it could be like there's obviously like vampire gore in it, because they drink blood and blah, 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 blah. But it is a dark romance because it has obsession in it. It's called Obsessed for a reason. There's different layers of obsession in there. Delata's obsession with blood and vampire stuff, and then the obsession that the I guess you could say the male lead in that story, which is this is all a all Delata's story, but there is someone who's obsessed. Two guys in there. The council vampire who trying to give her a demand that you're going to become my mate or you're going to die, and then the hero type he's trying to save Delata that becomes obsessed with her, which is to his detriment. So it is a dark romance horror. So I would say I think you could handle it. It's not anything overly
I think I've
crazy in
seen
there.
stories that
It's not
before.
really scary type of horror. It's just more in the horror aspect because of vampires and werewolves and stuff. So
Yeah. Deshai says your covers on Fractal so pretty.
yeah, I like Fractal's covers.
Gonna be Delida for Halloween.
Yeah, I was a lot. I did a dance for because I'm previously a dancer. I retired, but I did a performance, a lot of performance. I dressed up as her at Halloween, did a belly dance horror performance, which is on my dance channel. But that was fun, dressing up as my characters.
All right, and I think I have to open it back up. I probably won't get as much done. I'm like going to be brainstorming my next chapter in my
Oh
current
man,
work in progress, which is a curse of claws and frost. Which is the fourth
yes.
in my series.
All of us, these stories are amazing because I love the whole aspect of the king and I just love it. It's all good stuff. It's all good stuff
Oh,
going
thank
on.
you.
So very much waiting for that. I'm just gonna work on something romantic based today because since I have stuff ready to go, I'm just gonna probably work on some of the outlines for that stuff.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I think we've got about Aphrodite who's writing. I don't know what anybody else is doing. You're welcome to share with us, but you don't have to. It's going to be 30 minutes on the clock. And we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Okay, that is time. How did you do?
I'm pretty good, actually. I decided to write in my confession series, which is like 3 parts, three books, and so I was writing in the one that's called Spice. So I got about, I think when I checked my count, like about 950 words. It's not bad.
Nice.
Romance flows easy.
I just did some verbal brainstorming and I still haven't figured out what I'm doing for my next chapter. Like I know where it's going to be and one of the two characters it could be, but I don't know what I should bring forward at this point because there's several different things. And I think bringing them all into one chapter would be too much. It'd be overloaded. So I'm trying to figure out which one's the best piece of information to reveal in this chapter.
Sure,
So
sure.
just verbal brainstorming was 1951 words, but I don't think I came to a conclusion yet. So I don't know.
Gotta brainstorm some more.
Yes, gotta keep doing it. So we left off here with Adeshle saying, or to Adeshle from Aphrodite saying, I just resubbed to you. Not sure why YouTube removed me.
Yeah, YouTube.
Thanks, Aphrodite. YouTube does it. It does. Yeah. Because like for sure, like the most recent one I had was Kaufman. Like I was subbed to him and I wasn't getting notifications. So I got back from my vacation time and I was like, well, I know he goes like every day.
Yeah.
I went over and I was not subbed to him. I was like, well, duh, that's why I'm not getting notifications because YouTube unsubbed me while I was on vacation.
See, they do because they have like AI doing it and their systems aren't good enough yet to really be letting AI do that, but they do, and then it just unsubscribe people, even if people you regularly look at. I'm like, what are you doing?
I guess it thought since I was gone for a month, there's people that need to get rid of for me. AI, I think it was AI also coming into it last night. I don't know if you heard about what was happening on YouTube last night. I was in 3 different people's chats, and one started at 3:30 my time, which is 4:30 Eastern. And when I came in, I was like, what is going on? Everybody, there was like emojis, people were talking in different languages. And I was like, what's going on? You couldn't speak English in the chat last night in anybody's stream because it would show the comment to you, but it didn't show up. So you had to either talk a different language, spell words wrong, or talk in emojis in order to communicate with anybody.
What?
And then after a while, it stopped even letting my comments go through and I was spelling the words wrong. And so then I started just using Spanish. I was like, Google Translate it to Spanish and put it into the chat. And it was like 3 different chats I was in last night, but it had already been going on since a couple hours prior. And then halfway through like the night, it started getting better, but some people's comments still weren't making it through. And so
that's crazy.
We're against English last night, the whole YouTube.
That's funny. I don't know.
I was like,
that's a weird bug to get YouTube. Yes. I don't know what's happening.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, that is so weird that it was not accepting English. I was like, is this like an outside country or some country that doesn't speak English? It's like
totally YouTube? Probably. They don't ever tell us when YouTube gets hacked because it was down like a couple weeks ago. YouTube was down, like you couldn't even get on it. And I'm sure the influencer stuff was losing their minds. And it was like, I'm like, what's going on? They get hacked and they don't tell people. They just try to hurry up and deal with it.
Well, I said it was the AI bots that were rising up.
Maybe like, we're tired of you. Yeah.
We don't like English anymore. We're all going to speak and eat some other language.
That's right. If it's not Japanese or Korean or Mandarin, I'm in trouble. I don't know anything
else. Thank you, Aphrodite. Love Shannon's world building game.
Yes. That was fun.
Adeshle, it's annoying. So I know it's been happening. I've been checking everybody to see.
Yeah, to see who you unsubscribe to. I checked a few people when I was unsubscribed. I'm like, what is happening, YouTube? Stop it.
I'm subscribed to so many people that I'm not sure if it has. The only reason I knew that it was Kaufman that unsubscribed because I knew that he had writing streams that went every day.
Yeah, you were like, why am I not getting notifications?
Right, I was getting no notifications whatsoever. And I was like, what is going on? I'm not getting any notifications. So, took a food break. Tamara says I'm reading.
Yay.
YouTube has unsubbed me from so many channels I have to resub. I feel like that is probably the case.
So goofy.
Especially if I've subbed to so many people over the years. I'm like, who has it unsubbed me from that I don't even know? Because
I can tell it happens because if you check your subscribers, like if you notice your subscribers may go up and down, maybe just by 1 or 2, or you got a subscriber and then it'll go down again by 2. I'm sure it's because they're doing that check thing that they want to do to see if like inactive accounts and stuff. But I'm quite sure they get some people who are active in that whole spiel of letting it do that. And then here you go.
Yeah. They do it so often, it's ridiculous. I know. YouTube was freaking out last night. Yes, it was.
It
And
was.
I was in Kat's novel adventures in her chat first. And then I knew that DL, no, not DL, DL's right there. I knew that JC, so two letters, JC, not DL, and Kaufman were going last night. So I was trying to reach out to them. We were like, hey, YouTube is like freaking out, and then nobody can get a chat through if they're going to talk regular English. And I finally did get a hold of JC. I got a hold of Laura on Discord, so Laura was able to tell her about it, and then Kaufman saw my message later. But it was crazy. It was like, oh my gosh,
funny.
But it was happening yesterday in my chat. Not the same thing. My comment, like I put 2 comments in my chat right before we started. I was like, "Hi everybody, what are you working on today?" And the second comment I put was, "This is what I'm working on." Well, that first comment was gone when my stream started, and I was like, "Did I do it too early?"
Happening?
I was like, but usually if you do it too early, it's like a half hour too early, not a minute before the live stream starts too early. And then I put another comment in there and it disappeared. And then I was getting comments where it felt like it was like a continuation of a conversation. Yeah. But I was like, I'm losing it. I don't know where the rest of this conversation is.
Totally messed up.
Yeah.
Do better, YouTube. Do better.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
Moon says, got a little done, but had a phone call. Well, right. A phone call completely derail you.
Always, all the time.
Yeah. It started about 2 to 3 p.m. Yeah, it was crazy. We're using Japanese and emojis.
Hey, I would have been able to read at least.
I wrote in Spanish, so it's so funny because like in JC's chat, and Neo's like, I know that word means book, and I'm like, use Google Translate, but I had to say it in Spanish, and they're like, something Google, and I'm like,
I'm trying to tell you it too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Rebots, a Babylon virus. Yeah. Also, the streams were randomly stopping and restarting. Oh, I didn't see that happen. Yeah, it was crazy last night. I watched the channel with the millions.
I missed all the fun, man. I could have totally jumped in there.
It was something because in Kat's stream on Wednesdays, what she does is that after the first sprint, she tells us, give me an adjective, give me a noun, and she does Mad Libs, and she makes, puts it into a story. And so we couldn't say anything. We had to give emojis for what we were trying to tell her. That was so fun.
Oh my goodness.
She was like, there was one, I knew it was supposed to be a noun, or it was supposed to be something happening. It was cutting hair. I figured out it was cutting hair, but it was just like the barber pole and a person. And she was like, barber? But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm like, no, it's cutting hair. It's cutting
hair. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. I missed all the fun. I did not know this was occurring.
I watch a channel with 1 million subs, and they're having subscriber issues as well. It's crazy. Oh, wow. I do the same. There are certain people I just go to YouTube because I never know when it will happen.
Yeah, you don't. You got to check in.
I just checked, and I was unsubbed from Aphrodite. Hold on.
Wow.
Am I still subbed?
I cannot.
Go to channel. Sounds like a lot of people got unsubbed from Aphrodite.
Oh, my goodness.
Nope, I'm still subscribed.
Yeah, Aphrodite said she just resubbed like 7 people today. Maybe that's part of the glitch too. Maybe they just did a bunch of that too last night. Who knows? Like, who knows?
JC is like, oh yeah, it was interesting last night.
Oh my goodness.
Resubbed to 7 channels today. 7.
Ridiculous.
Very chaotic at the beginning of the stream, LOL. I know. I was trying to reach you because JC, I don't have a good way of reaching you. And so I was like, who did I reach out to first? Oh, it was Morgan, because Morgan and I, we talked through email quite a bit, especially with us being critique partners and going through critiquing right now. But I didn't get a response. I was like, maybe Morgan's not going to be on her channel tonight. I was like, who else do I know? And I was like, oh, I know Laura.
We can't talk to each other.
No. 7. Wow, that is a lot. I missed the world building game. Is that from last night? DL, did you just say you spoke Korean and Japanese?
Yeah, Japanese I was learning since I was a teenager. Korean I started when I was about 30. And then I'm learning Mandarin too.
Nice. And I can read Spanish better than I can say it. I use Google Translate for most of it, but I know enough of Spanish that I could, because Google Translate's not always right. I knew enough of it that I could look at it and see if it was right. Like I started learning Spanish when I was in grade school because it was mandatory as part of our curriculum because I grew up in Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mine was Hebrew. So I know some Hebrew in my school that I was homeschooled. So the school program we went through, the language we had to learn was Hebrew. So that was fun.
Yeah. Flex time.
Yeah. Yeah, we ain't flexing. It's just part of our lives. And that's
And JC said, "Oh, you could do also misspelled words." That was only for a short period because, like, I was doing misspelled words, and then my first couple comments in your stream went through, and then none of my other comments went through. Not a single one of them.
like they were like, "Oh, she's working it, so we're gonna have to just make none of her comments show up."
Yeah,
I
know, because I was in 3 different chats at that time, and my comments stopped showing up in all 3 chats. And then I started speaking Spanish.
That's so crazy. I can't believe that's a bug that happened. Everyone's probably losing their minds.
It was crazy, let me tell you. Oh my God, I had to resub to you too, Mom Maggie.
Wow.
I keep saying Babylon.
Wow, YouTube. Wow.
Oh, the Tower of Babel. I knew what you meant by Babylon, though. I knew exactly what you meant.
Yep.
Gosh, it's okay, Ashley. Curse you, YouTube is a bot. You can't tell us to not be friends. Yeah, my channel dropped in subs. Mine did drop a few subs too, but I just figured that was par for the course. Facebook, Shannon, you can reach me on Facebook. Oh my gosh, you see, I don't do Facebook.
That's not the one.
Yeah, that is why we don't connect.
I have to do like a Discord or something. Maybe so a lot of people use Discord, but I have to get it back on my phone. That's why I miss Shannon's message. I'm like, I have to be at my desktop, and I haven't been down there.
It's all right. I guess I'll be going down the author tube and writing sprints list and checking all my subs. Oh,
yeah.
true.
Now you can.
Uh-oh. Did I pause? Or was it DL? Is DL pause or am I pause?
I don't think I'm paused.
Okay, you just unpause for me.
Okay, I don't know. Can't tell which end. I don't know.
I don't know. Some Mandarin, Korean, and some Spanish and French. My kids are fluent in Japanese. Not me, LOL. My father's fluent in Hebrew.
Yep, they always calling her all kinds of names in Japanese she don't know, and I'll be like, It's
awesome. I don't do Discord or Instagram, see, and I don't do Facebook. This is why we don't connect outside of YouTube, TC.
See? Wow.
Still at 351 followers. I wonder if I'm still. I have to go check. I have to go down the list and see.
It was me.
Oh, okay.
It was me. That's because we got a rainstorm over this way.
Oh well. We had rain earlier today, so I sent it over to you.
Yeah, thanks.
At least
it's not snow. I'm not complaining. I'll take rain.
It makes it look like we don't support each other. I know. All right, we got to the end of the comments. So, DL, would you please? I know you're working on a lot of different things, but what is the very next thing that you're working on, and when it might come out? Now, I know Winter Wolf comes out tomorrow.
Yes.
But what's the next thing after that?
The next thing after that, most likely will be the horror collection Beyond the Veil, and Cagliostro book 2 is scheduled for later this year because I'm working on the second draft of that. So definitely have some releases coming, I would say, around Halloween for those. And Trapped Within, which is the sequel to Room Within, is also slated for episode 3 in my dark fantasy and horror. And then I'm hoping to at least get one of my romance books out. I'm in the middle of writing it, and maybe Shannon might even be my editor for it.
I might be, yeah. I was gonna say, when you said earlier that you like the insta love trope, yeah. I have novelettes coming out later this year. And I think that most of them are written where they're not insta love, but it's short. They're like 10 to 13,000 words, so it's hard not to do insta love in that short time. I think only one really qualifies as insta love. I was like, I think you'll like it because of that.
Oh, I'm sure I'll love it. Listen, romance, just throw it at me. I will be all over it.
The way I think of it is like it's more like insta lust. I think is how most stories are.
I mean, technically, that's the truth on that end. Like it's that. I mean, and actually, there's going to be an attraction first in a lot of cases, and then the love kind of happens in that situation. You know what I mean? Because that's generally how it works in some cases, unless it's like you didn't meet each other and you fall in love with personality. That's very possible if you're doing that type of relationship. So. Very possible. But if I see you, I can't make no promises. It wasn't because I thought you was attractive. I'm not even gonna lie, because it probably was that.
I would say so DL and I were trying the exchange program here. In which she's going to do my social media for my novelette that's coming out in April, and I'm going to be editor for her next story, whichever one that ends up being.
Yes, that's true.
And then Mama says, I hate that I lost all my languages and music with my stroke.
I know, it's terrible.
My subs never reach 800. It's not fair. I think YouTube does that. Like when you reach certain milestones, they don't let you go over it.
Yeah, it's hard to get over the hurdle. I just literally got over the hurdle of the dreaded 700 because I was sitting at the 690 something, and then it kept losing some and gaining some and losing some, and then I went over it, and then it was like take them all, and then now I'm like, then all of a sudden I got like 10. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm safe to say I'm at 700. I don't know, YouTube.
Right?
You don't know.
Nia doesn't do Facebook either, except to send me messages. LOL. Yeah, maybe I should just get on just to send you messages. I just have to remember that for next time. Well, Diao, if you want to go ahead and tell everyone where people can find you and purchase your books, I have dropped some of your links into the chat, but and everything will be down in the description box too.
Yes, you can find mostly all of my books on Amazon. Cagliostro can be found in every type of form of digital bookstore that there is, probably, because I am wide with Cagliostro. So it also has a audio book out for Cagliostro on Apple Books. And again, if you do go on Amazon and you pull up my author page, it has all of my available books. I do a lot of short form stories, but Cagliostro is a full-fledged novel. If you want to get a taste of the work, then I say check out my stuff on Amazon, because I do have a lot of the stuff listed in KU. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, you get to read it for free, and I get paid to read, so I'll take that too. It gives you a taste of my dark fantasy and some of the horror. And if you're more inclined for romance, then definitely check out Winter Wolf, because it's more romance leaning. Cagliostro also has romantic elements if you're here for the love.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and joining me on Charm Chats. So it's been great having you.
It's fun. Thank you.
And don't forget to like, everyone. Thank you so much. What is that, Mom Maggie? Right? I don't know what I've kind of lost it. Oh, the Insta Lust and Insta Love. I love this. Yes, it would be great if there was a Lust Fantasy.
Right? Love Fantasy. Hey, we could have that. This is it.
All right. Well, next year on Charm Chats and Happily Ever After Sprint, in roughly an hour and a half, so less than 2 hours, I'm going to have guest author A. Adeshle on, who joins us at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And instead of me saying goodbye, I'm going to let you say your normal outro.
And even though we are here for the romance, do be sure to stay scared.
I want to tell you something. Don't be scared.
It's midnight, baby, just us two, no bright lights, nothing to prove. Your handshake, mine do too, but it feels right being close to you.
Come closer, don't look away. We both know why you came to stay. Your heart beats loud, I hear it too. This moment's a little taboo.
Don't rush it, move slow, feel the heat start to grow. If you want me, let it show. Tell me soft, tell me low. Taboo, taboo.